Joining me here in studio right now is Kevin Richards with Ventura Web Design with our tech news. By way of disclosure, they are the folks who designed my beautiful AlanStock.com webpage. Good to have you here.
Hey, good to be here. As always, love to be doing this with you.
This is incredible. This is terrific. All right. California woman suing her former employer for using an app that tracked her not only during business hours, but 24/7. I mean, there are ways that people can do that. I found out this past week, by the way. I'll tell you what happened in a minute. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So the iPhone has a lot of capabilities in it. This is one of them. So this particular app was called Zora, and I'm not sure what the use of the app is, but the employer deemed that it was necessary. I think she seems to be in sales or some type of customer service, or actually was, because she's now been fired. And she was upset that she figured out that that app was also tracking her on her phone 24 hours a day. Well, newsflash, if your employer buys you a phone and your employer needs to be able to find you for whatever reason, and you've got an app that has that capability on it, it's going to work 24 hours a day.
No, you disable it.
Well, I hear you on that. But I mean, the app is there, and if your employer is buying your phone for you and you don't want to be tracked during your off business hours, why don't you have your own cell phone and put that phone away?
Serena came over this past week and said to me something to the effect of, about my tracking or the phone that will tell me exactly all the different locations that I've been. Mm-hmm. She says, "Is yours turned off?" And I said, "I have no idea." So right. She took my cell phone in front of me and did what you do, and she gets done. She goes, "Yeah, see, there it is. I'll turn it off." I go, "Why didn't you turn it off?" Why? Well, it tells you where you were and where because then people will know where you live and all the other stuff. And why should you have that on there? So I said, okay. So she disabled it, and that was it. So that took care of that. So when you say about them being able to follow somebody 24/7, whether it's a company phone or her phone, disable that sucker.
Oh yeah, there's that, and well, that's where the problem was. She did uninstall the app, and the employer was really upset about that. There's an app on your phone called Find My iPhone, and that's actually a very good feature. It allows you to locate your phone if you're missing it. It works really well with the kids when they lose their phone under the couch or whatever. We make it play a sound, and then suddenly we can find it. We don't have to tear the whole place apart to find the phone.
Okay, so they fired her for what? Because she went somewhere she shouldn't have gone?
No, they fired her for uninstalling the app, and I don't know. It's one of those funny things. If you're going to be responsible for customer service 24/7, I think that's the question. I don't know that you can require an employee to be that available, to be available at all times. I think that's really the problem there.
Well, okay. And my solution to this whole thing is turn your cell phone off for work, off, so you can't track it. Keep your own phone on, your personal phone.
Or have different phones. That's
and then
the
they
key.
can call you on your phone or text you, and that way they can get in touch with you that way.
Right. If you're going to carry your employer's phone around and have a free cell phone all the time, you're going to also expect the other apps to be on all the time.
All right, so let's jump over to Facebook. They're adding a new feature I know that will enhance their news feed. Tell me about this.
Oh, this is an interesting one. As we know, the web is all about individual publishers. KDON has its own website. LVRJ.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But go ahead.
Exactly. Everybody has their own website. Google and Facebook specifically would really prefer that you live completely within their space on the internet. We call that a walled garden. You want to stay within their walled garden. There's no reason to leave. It's beautiful here. Get all of your content right on your news feed from Facebook. And it's pretty interesting. I mean, Facebook is really making strides to be the best news feed they can be. And, there's news out every day about that news feed in regards to the algorithm and what information it's showing you. I don't know if you saw, there's a study out there talking about how everything in your news feed is agreeing with you and your viewpoint. And it's creating a society of people who are getting more and more radicalized because all they see is their viewpoint constantly. They don't see anything from the opposing point of view.
No, I believe that because I see a lot of postings all the time where most people agree with me, and some every once in a while disagree, and I like getting into a tete-a-tete with them, but most people do agree, and that is how that happens. So,
and that's because the algorithm thinks that information is what you want to see. The websites that you like, the places you visit and spend time on, that it thinks that that's what you want to see. So that's kind of the issue there.
So you're talking about websites and everything like that. We've got something called the KDON app.
I know. I checked that out. It's pretty great.
It is. incredibly great. It's all you have to do is go to the App Store and iTunes, download it, and you wind up being able to access our Facebook, our Twitter, our website. One-stop shopping for everything KDAWN. The stream the station live, anything you want, and more. I mean, when I discovered this, I was like a kid in a candy shop, and if it's easy for me to do, anyone could do. No, what Tina's laughing at me.
I know you always say that.
No, but it's true. If it's easy for me, right. Anyone, and it's easy and it's fun. Check it out. I mean, really, download that KDAWN app. Go to the App Store and iTunes, download it, and then check it out and see if what I'm saying is not the case. It's fun, it's easy, and you're going to have a blast.
It's fast. That's the real key.
It is fast.
Just like Facebook is trying to increase the speed that you get to access the news articles. That's what this is all about, making things faster. The KDAWN app makes it faster for you as well because you don't have to wait and wade through all the other advertisements.
Humans have become so obsessed with portable devices and overwhelmed by content that they say we now have the attention span shorter than that of a goldfish. I kid you not. They're saying that the average attention span of 12 seconds is now fallen to 8 for humans, where the goldfish maintains a solid 9. This is because of our obsession with portable devices. Is this what's happening? I mean, think about it. You're the genius in this area. So that's what I'm asking you. Think about people no longer being able to... Their attention span is... Oh, well, let's forget about it. Why do we even talk about it,
I mean, I'm looking up how to train a goldfish. I want to know exactly how long how do you train a goldfish? How do you know what their attention span is?
I can't even think about it anymore. I lost interest. All right, let's move on here. That's where I think people are going, though, really. It's like they text something, do something. All right. Don't beat a dead horse, Al. Google has been in the news lately, and that I know. So tell me about their businesses and the website traffic that's going on with Google.
There is a lot of complaining out there in the world by business owners. They're so upset that Google is changing
Whiners.
Their algorithm. The Google algorithm is what determines where websites show up in the search engine results pages. There's over 200 known points to that algorithm, and certainly there's a bunch more that Google is not willing to share, because if we knew what the rules were, then of course we'd know how to, force the results and come up higher. But here's the point. We've been talking about what's, Mobilegeddon for months now. You need to get your website mobile. Websites have done that. But despite doing that, other websites are still falling. Well, those websites that are falling in traffic are ones that aren't interesting. And if you want to rank and come up number one for whatever keyword it is that you want to show up for, you need to be better than the thousands of other websites that are trying to do exactly the same thing. So it's just this constant whining, constant, ignoring of the fact that Google is actually in business to make money themselves, and they want you to buy their advertising. So the only websites they're going to show in those really highly coveted good spots are amazing websites. They want people to have a good experience while they're using Google. And if you want to show up, you've got to either pay for the advertising, or you've got to have a great website with great content and a good user experience.
And that way you get a prime spot.
Absolutely. It's all about being in the top spots, because if you're not in the top spot, you are not going to be easily found. And, that leads us right into talking about all these politicians and, how they're ranking on the internet. We've talked about this a bit. Hillary Clinton and Rand Paul are both doing an amazing job with their digital marketing. They come up really well. You can find them by just typing in their name. And that's despite being, in government life. The other candidates, all their government websites come up first, or their Facebook website comes up first, or their Twitter presence comes up, not their own political campaign website. And that's a problem when you're running for president. So that's something that they need to be working on and fixing. It's all about getting into that top spot, because that's all the people are going to see. That's the funny thing. The way Google has designed the page, you see a lot of advertising, and you only see a couple spots that are what we consider free or natural or organic listings.
So what are the other candidates not doing an adequate job?
They're not. There's so many basic things that are being missed, and that's what's causing them to not rank really well. And, Ted Cruz, I just don't understand. TedCruz.com is not his. Somebody who does not like him owns it. and that tedcruz.com is rising in the search engines. tedcruz.org is not. That is a major oops. He is going to have to fight a major uphill battle.
Are any of the candidates buying their own? Or what about like Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, people like that?
Yeah, they buy their own domain name, and they're doing it the right way. You know, they own
They
it.
are.
Just like we talked about, allenstock.com. You know,
Okay.
they need to have their own name.
And I understand Rand Paul has this feature that lets people buy things online.
Well, yeah, they all have stores, and that's part of helping their campaigns go. And what Rand Paul's doing, again, he really is doing a great job. He's got somebody who knows their digital marketing. And right now they're running a contest. You get to log on, you get to choose which t-shirt design you like the best. So you, for free, you're logging in, you're giving them your feedback, which one you're most likely to buy is basically what you're telling them. And then, oh, guess what? They make it really easy for you to buy that shirt as well. So it's really, it's well thought out. It's a good experience. And these candidates, I can't say it enough. Digital marketing is where it's at for 2016.
It's going that way almost for everything. Tell me about Domino's Pizza. I understand that they are. I just read this recently that you can actually tweet to Domino's Pizza to buy a pizza. Is that true?
It is. It's going to be true starting on May 20th. You will be able to tweet for a pizza. How cool is that?
Tweet for a pizza.
Yep. So you tweet your local Domino's, and of course they don't just start making the pizza as a result of a tweet. You're logging in, and they will communicate back and forth with you through your Twitter profile just to make sure that you actually really do want that pizza and you're going to pay for it. But it's adding a way. It's using technology and making the process smoother. I mean, you remember the days of calling up to the pizza place and they say, "Can you please hold?" And they're like screaming.
Wait, I did that last week. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Called on the phone?
Yeah.
It still works. The telephone does work, at least for now. I will say that. But the Twitter thing, it's brand new, it's fast, it's quick, and that's what everybody wants.
And they say, "Oh, what's your phone number?" "Oh, yeah, we know what you want," and they already have it down there. What I want.
That's true. But imagine if all you had to do was tweet at Domino's Pizza, and then they did all that without you sitting on hold, without you taking the stress and the anxiety of dialing that phone, picking up the phone, typing in the numbers, waiting for the toll to ring.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so our attention span, no wonder it's getting less and less.
Right.
So let's talk about Apple and some of their secrecy that goes on. I understand that they are in the process. I know about the watch, which I'm not going to get, by the way, for sure. But I understand that they're trying to build an Apple car. Are you serious? Really?
Well, we talked about that before, and that is something that they're looking at because the car manufacturers do not want to give up control of their dashboards to Apple or Google or Facebook or anybody. They want to hold that themselves. So they've figured out they're having a real hard time getting good technology into cars, which is what Apple and all the big guys really want. So they're certainly looking at trying to partner with somebody else.
That's what I was going to ask. So they're not going to try to reinvent the wheel. They're not going to build their own car. They're going to go to Toyota or Ford or someone. They're going to say,
I don't know about that. I mean, there's already CarPlay. They're trying to partner with Toyota and Mercedes, and that clearly is not working out like they intended. I think that you look at Tesla. I mean, they kind of came out of nowhere, so it's not unheard of.
So Apple could go to Tesla or someone like that and say,
exactly,
build us a car.
Yeah.
Or anyone.
But the other thing about Apple is that they just announced, this is brand new breaking news, that they have something called Applebot. Now, if you're in the digital marketing world, you know all about Googlebot. Googlebot is what visits your websites and indexes you, and it's what makes the search engine work. So there's now something called Applebot. What does that mean?
What?
It means that Apple's working on their own search engine.
Well, I'm telling you, they're about to take over the world. Apple today, the core of it all tomorrow.
Google might not be leading 10 years from now. You never know.
All right. If you would like to contact Kevin Richards, Ventura Web Design, easy. Go to allenstock.com on the right-hand side of the page. You will see a little symbol that says it's an icon for Ventura Web Design. Click onto that. You'll be able to get a hold of Ventura Web Design and communicate directly with the CEO, owner of Ventura Web Design, Kevin Richards. Always great having you in. We will do it again next week.
Hey, love being here, and I highly recommend that Kadon app. It's great. Get it.
That Kadon app is fantastic. Kadon app is fantastic. Kadon app is fantastic.